Yo, what's going on, everybody? Your boy Wealth with Waxler here.
Coltonlivesbullish, what's good, fam?
Yo, we're about to give you guys a weekly outlook of some pairs that Colton's checking out for the week, some pairs that I'm checking out for the week. I'm going to be going over UJ and GJ.
And I'm going to be touching on the dollar index. We're going to touch on GBP USD, dive a little bit of indices. I'm going to show up some S&P as well.
Yes, sir. Everyone loves the S&P. So, Colton, you want to go first and share the screen, and let's get into it.
Definitely. Yeah, guys, we're going to get right into it. We want to make sure you guys take enough away from this video to go and back test yourself. So we're going to go ahead and throw us over in the corner, and we're going to get to it. So we're going to start on the dollar index, right? Because you guys got to understand that most of the time you're trading majors, you need to know where the dollar index is going in order to help you go ahead and confluence that with any other trading that you got going on. So starting off on a bigger time frame, we obviously see this bigger sell to buy. We consolidated out, we sold off, and now we're pretty much consolidating again. So as we understand this sideways moving market, right, we're pretty much creating those equal highs, creating those equal lows because of how bearish we have stayed here, because of, on smaller time frames, what we got hanging on here, because of this institutional candle. I really do feel like we could move a little bit deeper into this institutional candle going back throughout the week. Now I'm going to go ahead and just mark up the 50% of this candle with my eyes. Just something that you guys can go ahead and look at. As you see, there is a small pool of liquidity above that price range. If I wanted to even it out, I might even go ahead and do 95.50, right? This might be a key price that I want to look at. Overall, on the daily, I don't really need to do a whole lot, right? My eyes already understand that when this market does want to move up, we are going to move up into this pool of money to go ahead and attack these imbalances that were left around 99 and 100. Now, when it comes to dollar index, I won't go lower than the 1 hour because we're not really executing trades on this pair. So now I pretty much just want to dive in. We've already looked left to get right. We see over here all these wicks. We pretty much have just equaled out money all across the board. Any mitigation plays have pretty much been already swiped off the board. So as we're looking at price now, right, there's literally two options. Either she can continue down below these lows, or we could come fill any small imbalances that happen up in here. Now, I want you guys to understand that, look, buy to sell, buy to sells. We have nice retracements all the way through here. So we don't really need to get a whole lot of bullish momentum going into this week. If anything, right, and this is just to train your eyes one more time, we pretty much have these equal highs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make that a light blue. We have our stop run candles right here. Go ahead and send that to the back. Navy blue, right? We have our test here. We have our move down, equal pool of money. Same thing I did on the bigger time frames, right? Go ahead and give you guys a little different look as to liquidity there. And then overall moving into this imbalance. So really want to see the dollar index go ahead and continue down. Not really want to break these highs yet and go ahead and dive into these liquidities. So now Mitch is pretty much going to run into UJ and how this may correlate with what he's looking at on the USD JPY. So Mitch.
Yeah, bro, absolutely. And actually real quick, that's one thing why, one reason why I, fell in love with the bigger time frames, because, Colton started off on the daily and, with looking at the bigger time frames, guys, it's so key because it helps you develop patience, right? Because with what Colton just broke down on the hour looks perfectly. We can possibly be catching that sell to ultimately catch the buy up. But when you're looking at the bigger time frame, you know the overall objective. So what you simply want to do is, if you don't have that perfect sell opportunity, then don't sell it. Just wait for it to come down to this institutional candle right at the 50% where the volume's at, and then just take the buy. You don't have to always catch it both ways. So just really keep that in mind. All right, so let's go to UJ real quick. Get rid of this.
Let's get it.
Perfect. I'm actually gonna go to the weekly. All right, so overall on UJ, I do want her to go down on a weekly perspective. The reason why is because I know it looks like this, shot down, took liquidity over here. But what I love to do, guys, to really get that volume is go to that line chart. You go to that line chart, what do you see crystal clear on UJ on the weekly time frame? You see this, okay? So ultimately on the weekly time frame, I do want it to go down eventually. However, you know, I do see some bullishness coming in. So as we go down to the daily, I'll point that out for you guys. So as we had on the daily time frame, you know, we had a couple key things. One thing that I want to point out is this last down candle right over here. Okay, the reason why I'm pointing out this down candle is because this down candle took liquidity that was over here and these equal lows. But once it took liquidity, it had a big push up. The market only moves like this when smart money gets in the move. And when it pushed it up, it took out this high. So when something like that happens, when they sell it, and that when they sell to buy, so they took downwards liquidity and then they took upwards liquidity. That should tell you that the overall momentum wants to go up. It's like, ask yourself, which side did they take liquidity from first? And then which one did they target? In this scenario, they took downwards liquidity and then they targeted the upside liquidity, like AKA it wants to go up. Okay, so if we go ahead and we mark this thing out, right? You have the open and, you know, the 50%, as we all know. Boom, boom, right? You can see we had liquidity right here. It came back and it played right in here as well. So once we had that institutional candle play in that zone, we now have what? We have a new institutional candle that we're looking at. This one right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and move these because we have a new institutional candle. We're going to move it right here to the open. Same thing with this one to the 50%. Boom, right? You can see it came and it played in there multiple times. And as of right now, it's starting to get away. But where is our target? Well, target is always highs. So, you know, the first target we're going to be looking at is going to be these equal highs right in here, right? You could go off to the wicks, but on the daily, I'm looking at the volume, which is, you know, the candlesticks. So that would be TP1. TP2 would be right here. But ultimately, I think it has a very well possibility to go all the way up to this very last up candle before the down move. So ultimately, I do want it to take out, you know, that weekly low, which is this blue box right in here. So ultimately, I do think it's going to come down there, but I'm expecting a move all the way back up into here before it takes out those lows based off of the order blocks that it's already playing off right here. And not only that, this high right over here was taken. This high right here was taken by what? It was taken by this candlestick right here, this order block. They bought it right here and then sold it off immediately. As you can see, there's a lot of imbalance in there. A lot of things giving us the perspective that it wants to go up. So real quick to wrap it up, we're going to go to the 4 hour. As you can see, the 4 hour, you know, the same thing happened. It's fractal. Here was that last down candle before the up move, right? If we draw this out, I'm going to use a box this time. We're going to do the open in the 50%. Boom. You can see eventually it came back down and it played in that again right here. And then this down candle played off of that and so on and so forth. And then, you know, the target was these equal highs, right? And you can see as the market opened, it literally just opened. It's Sunday right now. It came in right here and it is shooting away. So, you know, honestly, if you were on the charts right when the market opened, the market literally opened what, right? Right here.
950, yeah. The
market opened right here. So if you entered this, you know, on Friday, I would have definitely held that out. And look, it would have smashed your take profit, which is those equal highs. So recap, guys, real quick. Ultimately, I have UJ going up to probably this order block right here. And then ultimately looking at that downwards momentum. So looking to buy the market before we sell it. So that's all I have on UJ. Colton.
Big facts. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the hour chart here really, really quickly, just to relate it a little bit when it comes to the dollar index. And it's perfect because, again, we're looking for the same thing, right? We're looking for that dollar index to sweep the lows and get strong. So I honestly want the same thing to even happen on UJ. Yes, I'm looking for that bullish momentum for the rest of the week. But as you guys can see, we have that possibility for that dollar to go ahead and get weak. So I just wanted to put that 2 and 2 together.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it even stronger.
No,
yeah, touch on it.
Yeah, one last thing. So, yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's the beginning of the week. And where's the market right now? Yes, it took it with this wick. But if we were to go to the line chart, what do we have right here? A triple top, equal highs. So people are selling this right now. So, you know, as the week goes on, if it doesn't break above here, we're going to be expecting all this imbalance to fill, make its way down here, and then possibly, be looking for a buy opportunity, whether it be off of, this last down candle before the up move. We'll have to wait and see, and price and time is everything. So, we'll see, tomorrow and the next coming days.
Pretty much. That is it. So we're going to go ahead and touch on GU as well. This is honestly a super clean setup as I back out down to the, we're going to go down to the daily. All right. So overall, you guys see we had the buy, right? 5 days of buying action. And then we had the fat sell off. We ran back up, consolidated for a little bit. And price has really just kind of been hanging out. You see these sell to buys, right? Sell to buys, sell to buys. So right now, what I'm really looking for, right, on the bigger time frame is that we do have these equal highs here. We're going to go ahead and try that again. We got these equal highs here that we could be targeting. We overall have more imbalance to come play up into this structure, right? So this is overall what I'm looking for. This is what my eye kind of sees on the daily. So now we go down to the 4 hour. Now, the 4 hour is really powerful right here because, again, you guys can see the same thing. Down candle, up move. We've already had those proper tests, those proper mitigation plays off of these candles, right? What have we left up here? Like shown on the daily, we have these equal highs. Even though it's equal and then a lower high and a lower high and a lower high, we're also making higher lows, higher lows. So, right now, as we go deeper into more of an intraday basis, right? Because that's really what we're looking for, for this week, right? I really see this candle right here, right? We see liquidity. We saw the run up, one candle up to bring one candle down. If I were to pull a bar out, right? It's normally one candle that does it, buy to sell. We mitigated off of this, had another sell candle right now to open the market. We're retracing back into here. But overall, I see this pool of money. I see this imbalance of price, right? And I see this last up candle before a down move. So what can we do? We can wait for this to come test right at our whole level of 2,600, right? We could wait for maybe come up to 50% around 2,610 and really just allow us to have a stop loss right above the high. That's going to be 26.25, right? So a 25 pip stop to go ahead and target whatever lows are actually left on this chart. So, this is a high probability trade setup. I have for this week playing right off of the whole level of 2,600. It's not by default that we're having this consolidation and making these equal pools of money right above our major half level of 2,500. So I really want to see these lows get taken, right? But at first, I want to see this, GU to go ahead and have that move up. Again, weak dollar, let us move up. And then maybe, you guys may have heard a little bit of a midweek reversal. We'll see where we're at the middle of the week. But we're going to go ahead and dive into our next pair. So
yeah, I actually want to say something on this too. Those middle of the week reversals are huge. And then also price and time, price and time is everything. So, I love everything he just drew up. One thing that I would look at again, I don't know, not everyone likes to play off of not everybody likes to play off of order blocks multiple times. But, if you back test a pair, long enough, you'll see whether it likes to, test off of an order block multiple times. So, on the 4 hour time frame, this candle right here just speaks out to me a lot. And, obviously you can see that it already played off of that once. But as you break this down, right, this wick right here, I'm very curious. I was just curious to see what it's looking like on like a 15-minute time frame. So if we zoom out and we look at this right here, okay, whether you want to play off of this last down candle or this last down candle, it doesn't really matter because they're so close. But this is that, the last down candle before the up move that played off of that original 4 hour order block. So, let's say I marked up, the open of that and went back to the 4 hour real quick.
which is right at 2,500.
Yeah, which is right at 2,500. I was actually going to say that as well
I love
because
it.
it's that 100 pip range that, we're ultimately looking at. Give me 1 second. Yeah, okay, there we go. So, yes, it did play into this order block right here. But again, what I love to do, it just speaks to me. You can see, you know, with his equal lows right here, you got him right here on the 4 hour. Okay. So right now, you know, it's 10 p.m. This can kind of do whatever it wants. You know, we are seeking this upwards movement, but is it going to come below those lows and come in here, and the actual volume come in here? Because as you can see, no volume was really in here on the 4 hour. So we might expect this to come down and look for that buy, you know, in London session tonight or Tuesday or whatever the case may be. Or it may not even go down there. It may just go up first, and then we can take the sell. Price and time, we'll find that out later. But that's kind of all I wanted to say on that.
Perfect.
So let's go to a GJ real quick.
We love the pound. Love the pound.
She likes to move. I believe I'm going to go on the weekly as well. Love to start on the weekly. So, yeah, I mean, we could kind of see, you know, something just sticks out to me pretty quickly right off the bat. Yeah, let's shrink this real quick. All right, so this right here just speaks out to me, this candle, because it's the last down candle before that up move. Just took off to the upside, and then as you can see, it came down and it played off of that one more time. So if we delete this and we have a new order block, which is this last down candle for the up move, you can see we have the open in 50%. It played off of that one more time. And after it broke these lows to come play off of the order block, what happened? It took out this high. Boom. Now we have a high, or we have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, and now we have a higher high, another higher low. So ultimately, I'm looking at this high right here as a target, and this right here as well. This is that last up candle before that down move. So this right here is going to be my target. Ultimately, you know, my first TP would be this high. Second TP would be, you know, the beginning of this structure, that consolidation. And then my third TP would be looking at this candle right here, you know, that open or 50% of that candle. Okay, so let's break this down real quick to the daily. Let's see what's going on the daily. So as you can see, once again, on the daily, it's fractal. We had that down candle before that up move. It came back, it played in there, and then it skyrocketed. But notice this, right? Before it skyrocketed, what did it do? It created equal highs. So people that are looking at this on a smaller time frame are doing what right here? They're selling it. We had this down candle for the day. People are so excited. This thing's going to tank, yada, yada, yada. Next thing you know, it takes off. So when scenarios like that happens, this is what we call a breaker candle. It's your new order block. So you can mark up that open and that 50% of this last down candle before the up move. As you can see what happened, it came, it played in that area, and it bounced off, played off one more time, and then just took off to, you know, to the moon. And when it came up, what happened? It created what? It created a new target, equal highs right in here. So, you know, still from the weekly now to the daily, we're seeing targets to the upside. We want this thing to go up. So let's break this down to the 4 hour. Let's see if we can find a possible area to look for a buy. So ultimately, I'm going to delete this real quick. You know, ultimately, this last down candle before the up move is that original order block. However, keep this in mind that when smart money gets their perfect entry, they don't want to bring the market back to that area at all. If it's a picture perfect entry, they're not going to bring it back. They want to stay away from it as much as they can because they don't want you to get the perfect entry. They just want to have it. So it has potential to come back down here. Yes, this is very far away. It's about, you know, 200 pips out, but it does have the possibility to come back down there before we ultimately take out, you know, these equal highs. Okay, we'll just kind of have to wait and be patient. But, you know, as of right now on the 4 hour, I don't really see anything that sticks out to me too much on where we would be looking to buy or sell. You know, we have some equal lows right here. We have some equal highs. Just a lot of consolidation. You know, no need to be forcing anything and getting into the market now. Let's kind of just wait it out. Okay. You know, as you know, we came into you know, last week, the end of last week, you did have this down candle before the up move, and it did play off of this. But when it played off of this candle, it didn't break above this high, right? If you go look at the volume, it never broke above there. Okay, so because it didn't break above there, to me, this is just still in consolidation. This move wasn't strong enough, aka it's still, you know, undecisive on really where it wants to go. Does it want to continue down? Does it want to, you know, break through up? I'm not really sure. Ultimately, like I said, I want it to go up. However, it has potential to come down. So we're going to wait it out and look for the weekly reversal, and we'll follow up with it in a couple days. So Colton.
Big facts. Yeah, honestly, guys, that line chart is so key, right? If you're someone that seems like you kind of get thrown off by the wicks, you don't know where your lows are, where your highs are at, where your equal pools of money are. Use that line chart, right? It's really going to help you be able to see that bigger picture, and not the BS that comes with the wicks that goes deeper into smaller time frames. You guys also have to understand, if you see a big wick on a big time frame, that is an accumulation of smaller candles, right? It's an accumulation of smaller buy candles to sell. So you can really just put 2 and 2 together at all times. Now, to end it off, we've touched on the dollar index and a lot of Forex pairs. I hope y'all are taking advantage of some of the indices and everything that's come to play, especially for you margin and leverage traders that take advantage of, the free platforms that we trade on, right? Whether it's US 30, NAS. My personal favorite is S&P. It's better for the newest. I'm not going to say better, right? It's just a little less volume for the newest trader, other than, kind of trading some of the big dogs when it comes to the Dow Jones, or aka the US 30, the NAS 100, which is the top 100 tech companies. The S&P really just keeps it simple and small. So as we look at the daily, right, we're going to get through this pretty quickly. We obviously see the big down push, and we've been heading back up towards where we sold off. We had a nice down before an up move, have proper retests all the way through. Now, as you guys see, ultimately, these are equal highs, right? There is equal pools of money up here, but that is going to definitely be for a later time. I also notice we have our imbalance right here within this daily candle. So definitely something we are shooting for. And the amazing thing about it is that we have created, right, that liquidity right below the imbalance. So it's just telling us the story, right? And that's all it is, right? We just got to understand that, they do these things on purpose, right? It's just like a staircase, right? They're going to keep on continuing the market up above, into these liquidity areas, into the bigger imbalance areas, right? So nothing on the daily, shows me that we would want to come play into, yes, we have this sell to buy. Can the market come down here to, between 30.50 and 3,100? Absolutely. Does it need to? Absolutely not. Maybe the banks don't want us to come back to that entry, right? They want to go ahead and take this into the 3,300 level, into the 3,400 level, right? So let's dive into the 4-hour, go more of an intraday basis, see what we got going on this week. You guys see that sell to buy, all our nice wick retracements, really no imbalance to come play off of. Right? We dive into here. We see the buy to sell pretty much creating equal money. We do have some imbalance here that we'll keep in mind as we go down to an hour time frame. Right? And it's all about just like, keep on breaking it down and down and down and down so you can get, pretty much the best entries possible. So let's go down to the hour. Now, as we take a look at it on the hour, again, I'm marking these off as equal highs. Yes, they had short-term institutional plays, buy to sell, mitigation here, catch the sell-off, but ultimately all these wicks are showing me we've left a lot of money down here. A lot of people are trying to catch this break of the highs. So I would love to see the market, maybe try to come to retrace into this imbalance right here, right? So now that we're off the 4-hour, I want to make an hour imbalance and pull out more of an intermediate tool, the Fibonacci, just kind of a discounted price action, if you may will, but running it from this low to this high to see what kind of retracement that we would get, right? So, sometimes they're not going to pull it down into those deeper retracements that we may be looking for all the time, right? Because I noticed that the 50% is right here with inside the imbalance. I noticed that all these wicks have already retraced into any imbalance price action over here. So we don't really need to come down any deeper than a 50% retracement. So, hey, if your trading plan, comes to taking an entry right here around 31.85, they want to stop down here at 31.70. That's risking 15 pips to go attack 32.50, right? And that's for looking over 65 pips. So we're already talking a 3-to-1 ratio. So that's just something that I noticed, right? Outside of that, me and Mitch didn't go deeper into the smaller timeframes here because that's what we do for entries. We really wanted to give you guys the overall picture as to what we were looking at this week. But, again, as I come down into the smaller chart, I could come look in here and, you know, look for those last down candles, right? Sell to buy. A little bit of imbalance here. Maybe I literally wait for 31.84, 31.82. You take a buy entry there, stop loss up underneath this wick at 31.65. Now you're even risking about 10 pips, right, to go ahead and get into this high probability move. So these are paying out for us, guys. We are loving it. It takes the same skill, the same exact thing that happens on the 5 pairs that we went over happens on cryptocurrency as well, happens on, you know, whatever you may be looking at, right? Apple, whatever chart it may be. So we really appreciate you guys for, you know, giving us love on our channels. Again, your channel, Mitch.
Yes, sir.
Is
it's just my first and last name, Mitchell Waxler.
Mitchell
Pretty simple.
Yeah, you guys got it. You guys got to subscribe. We're consistently putting out you know, new content for you guys. We're actually together over these next 48, 72 hours. So we're recording a lot of videos to come at you guys this week. But we really wanted to give you this market breakdown to give you guys an opportunity for you that tune in consistently to maybe have a couple setups that you could take along with us this week.
Absolutely. And for the people watching this video on my channel, make sure you subscribe to my boy
Coltonlivesbullish.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
That's it, man. Let's wrap it up. Y'all, much love. Leave a comment. Hit us up. We got you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Let's get it. Live bullish. Let's go.